few materials it's very difficult to carry the without any container. Okay, either it may be packing material or container. Okay, so when there is a for these packing materials are too expensive. Okay, so even the product cost is less, but the packing material cost is high. The container cost is high, like gas cylinder. So gas, the cost is very less, but cylinder cost is high. It is around 6,000 K, the gas cylinder. But gas is just like a 4,000 rupees. So those type of the containers and the cylinders we need to return back to the vendor. Okay. So this case how SAP will handle this calculations and the return goods, how you will be monitoring and how you will be calculating these vendor materials. Why? Because these are all packing materials, right? So we generally will not be paid amount to the packing materials, right? So those cases, how you will be handling in the SCP. So you understand the third party, right? Third party process and the consignment, the subcontracting, okay, and the RTP and the project order stock, okay, and the sales order stock documents, right? And so these are the process we discussed yesterday, right? Any doubts, sir? I think third party you understand, right? So any doubts on third party? Contracting, RTP, direct order stock, sales order stock. Any doubts on this one, Sagar, Guru?
No, no.
Okay. Let's go to the next process then. So what was the next process? So invoice plan. So what do you mean by invoice plan? As I said yesterday, we have two invoice plans. One is the periodic invoice plan, and another one is a partial invoice plan. Okay. So what do you mean by periodic invoice plan and partial invoice plan? Okay. So few services. Okay, we don't need any GR. Okay. So that was the periodic payments to the will be happen to the client to the vendor. So let's say example rental. Okay, you are paying rent. Okay, so there is no GR for this. So it is a like service. So we are using their house for the rental. So we are paying the every month the amount 10,000 rupees to client. Okay, so in this case we don't need the GR here, no GR here. Okay, but we need to pay some amount to the every month periodically. We need to pay the amount to the vendor. So those cases, how SAP will be handling. Okay, like suppose May 01, 2022, I have to pay 10,000 rupees. Okay, so there is an agreement like every month I have to pay. June again 01, 2022, I have to pay 10,000 rupees. So like we have paying every 1 year, every month for 1 year. Okay, so those cases, how the SAP is looking into that, the invoice. So that will be the calling as an invoice plan. Okay, so periodic invoice plan is nothing but like how the system will generate automatically the invoice periodically. Either it may be 15 days or it may be every month. Okay, it depends on the your client and vendor agreement. Okay, so it's basically we are using for the services. Okay, periodic services. Okay, did you understand what do you mean by periodic?
Yeah.
Right now, coming to partial. Okay, these are the partial invoice plan is nothing but like here also no GR. Okay, but there will be an agreement like okay, suppose let's say survey. So I got the requirement from my client. Please survey the one new product. Okay, so they are divided that stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. Okay, now in the stage 1, the survey number 1, okay, we will complete the 20% of survey. Okay, then we will pay the some 50,000 rupees. Okay, now stage 2 will complete the 40% of the remaining survey. Then we will pay the 1 lakh rupees. Okay, and in the stage 3 we will complete the remaining 40%. So then again we will pay the 1 lakh rupees. So this partial payment is nothing but like a in the lump sum amount we are paying different stages and the different amounts. Okay, we will define this when we will be complete this for stage 1, when we will complete the stage 2, when it will be complete stage 3. So that the system will generate that, okay, this this is completed stage 1. So as per that date, it will be generated automatically for that 50,000. Again, it is stage 2. Okay, again 40% it is completed, then which 1 lakh will be generated. So the partial amount it will be generated in the lump sum amount. It will be generated automatically invoices for the partial amount. So this is the partial periodic invoice plan. Clear?
Okay.
Okay. So periodic and partial. These two are using for the majorly for the services and when there is a continuous payments will be happen for periodically. Those cases we are using the invoice plan. Okay. Clear? So can I go ahead for the next?
Okay.
Okay. What about Sagar? Guru? What?
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Okay. Let's go to the next one. Okay. Next, ERS. Evaluated receipt settlement. So what do you mean by evaluated receipt settlement? Did anyone use this ERS in your system? Did anyone use the ERS here?
No, no.
No, right? Okay. So it's a simple concept, evaluated receipt settlement. Okay. There is some agreement between the client and vendor. Okay. So vendor is said that, okay, once you receive the GR, please pay the amount. Okay. Once you just verify the GR and you just verify the PO and pay the amount. So I don't want to raise the any again invoice. So he is my best vendor. So the vendor is saying that I will not generate any invoice to you. Okay. Let's whatever you receive the stock. Okay. You just pay the amount for the that receive the stock. That means here there is some strong bonding between the vendor and company. Okay. So we are not waiting till the vendor is sending the invoice. Okay, we are very happy to the receiving the goods. We have a strong bonding between the vendor and the company. So the vendor also is happy if the payment is happened based on the GR stock, okay, and PO price. So no invoice here. It's not necessary to receive the invoice here. So those cases I can go with the evaluated receipt settlement. So it's different. It's evaluated. Okay, the receipt. That means whatever the stock which we received based on the receipt and you are evaluated the price and goods, then you can settle automatically. So the concept here is automatic settlement for receiving GR without invoice. Okay, clear? So in what cases we are using this one? Generally, what cases we are using this EIS? Suppose I have vendor and company have the good relation. Company have the good relationship. Okay, if they have a good relationship, then I don't want to wait for the till the invoice is receiving. Okay, so I can pay directly. So let's say assume that okay, early morning I am getting the 10 liters milk. Okay, so I don't want to be wait for the till the invoice is generated and what is the invoice payment invoice amount. I don't want to wait for that. So evening I can do the Google Pay or something, Phone Pay or something. So it's like a bonding between the vendor and company code. A company, they are okay with that. The payment will be happen automatically once we receive the GR instead of we are receiving waiting for the invoice. Clear? Clear?
Yes. Yes, clear.
Any doubts on this ERS? Did you understand concept or not?
Yeah.
Yes. It's simple. It's simple. Okay, without receiving the invoice, you are settling the invoice automatically. Okay. Now, can I go ahead for the next topic? Can I
Yes.
go ahead for the next topic?
Yes, sir. Oh.
Okay. Next topic is stock transport order. This is very, very important. Okay, every company they are using this stock transport order, STO. So, what do you mean by STO? Stock transport order. What do you mean by STO? What do you mean by stock transfer order? Did anyone knows about the stock transfer order?
Yes. Stock means related to material.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these materials are kept in stock once received from the vendor.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the stock of these materials keeps increasing or decreasing based on the amount, based on the quantity or issued quantity.
Mm-hmm.
Based on this one, we create stock transfer order.
Okay. What is the purpose? What is the purpose of the STO? You said that the inventory controlling, but what is the
Uh,
purpose of the STO? Okay.
in procuring goods.
Yeah, it's simple. So simple. Stock transport order is nothing but like a transferring the goods from the one plant to another plant. Simple. Transport to order. Okay. It's nothing but like a if I have the shortage of materials, I can ask to some other plant, please send me some goods to me. Okay. Let's say example. Okay. I have one tiffin center. Okay. In Kodapur. Okay. And again, I have one more tiffin center, which is in the Madapur. Okay. So let's say I'm giving small example. Okay, it's not like we are doing this. So, okay, so from Kondapur to Madapur. Okay, now so let's say assume that in the Kondapur, okay, there was a maybe high demand. Okay, the products are it's sold out. Okay, and still it is demand is there. Still demand is there. Okay, but here less demand. Okay, the product still it is available. Okay, so what we'll do immediately, we'll request this Kondapur branch, they are requesting the Madapur branch, please send me some goods to my branch. Right? This is, I'm giving just simple example. Why? Because here there are less demand and here is the already sold out and still demand is going on. So obviously I want to increase my business, right? I want to increase my profit. I cannot keep this stock in the Madapur stock, Madapur business. Because there is no demand there. Right? So those cases what we'll do, we'll transfer from one plant to another plant. So this is one simple example. Okay. So those cases what we'll do, we'll create the STO and the Kondapur branch they will create the order, requested that to send the Madapur sending to goods to Kondapur. Clear?
clear.
Okay. Now, this is an example, right? So let's go to the real business, how it will be like. Okay, and the big companies, how it will be like that. Okay, so this is also one example, but we can take one more example as well. Okay, let's say I have the manufacturing plant. Okay, and I have that which is one more plant, which is a storing plant, store plant. Okay, which there we are storing plant, and one more which is like we have that depot plant, which is like let's say sales point. Okay, sales point plant. Okay, and one more which is like one more sales point also we have. Okay, so once we did the manufacturing, okay, suppose let's say I have did 1 lakh pieces today. Okay, I cannot move this 1 lakh pieces to sales point, right? What I will do, I'll just transfer to the store plant. Okay, to keep the stock in the store plant. Okay, now from the here, based on the demand, what we will do, we'll transfer some 50,000 here, okay, and 50,000 here, right? So whatever we just moving into our plants, that we call as a stock transfer order. Clear?
Clear.
So plan to plan transfer. We basically say that plan to plan transfer. So why I'm telling this example, right? Okay, instead of by heart or instead of giving the description, if we go with the example, okay, that will easy to understand the process. Okay, that's why whenever I'm just going with any topic or anything, we are mostly taking one example or two examples, right? So clear? So
Clear.
come to that. Now, what are the STOs we have? So what you understand here? The STO is basically is plan to plan transfer. Okay, how many ways we can do plan to plan transfer? And what are the different types of plan to plan transfer? You can say, sir, why, sir? Whatever it may be, plan to plan transfer. Why we have the different type of the plan to plan transfers? Okay, I'll tell you the examples. Okay, let's say how many we have. Okay, one which is plan to plan transfer only. Okay, well, but we are not involving any MM and ST here. Okay. Let's say instead of MM and ST, okay, you can say that without any order, STO order, okay, and without any shipment. Okay, without any shipment. Okay, so this is like what we call generally plan to plan transfer, instant transfer. It is like instant transfer. Okay, how it will be like? I can go directly MIGO. I can go transaction. I can do directly transferring from the one plant to another plant. So here the receiving plant and the supplying plant, they are not asking any demand here. But that was a regular activity. We are just transferring the goods to one plant to another plant without any order and without any shipment document. Okay. So here again we have two cases. One is one step and the one is two steps. Okay. What do you mean by one step? What do you mean by two step? So one step is nothing but like we directly transferring the goods. Okay. Without like these are side by side plans. These are the side by side plans. Just a moment. The charging is coming. Give me a moment. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Now, so what do you mean by one step? What do you mean by two step? Okay. one step is nothing but like if it is side by side plants, okay, like simply like in the manufacturing plant only, there is some location which is near to sales depot plant. Okay, so I don't need to be tracked whether they received or whether they supplied. So those cases I can go with the one step. So when you did one step process, the receiving and the supplying both it will be happen at a time. Okay, so we don't need to be wait and we don't need to be see in the stock in transit. Okay, okay, and when it is two-step procedure, okay, if it is suppose the plant is Kondapur and one plant is in Marapur, okay, so I need to be tracked that whether they supplied from the supply plant and whether they received the receiving plant and where the stock exactly it is there. So those cases, what we'll do, first it is supplying from here, from supply plant to it is sending the goods to the outside, and the receiving plant will receive inside. Okay, so there is two cases. Step one is the they are sending. Step two is the they are receiving. But this case, one step procedure, both it will be happening at a time. So no need to be wait. He is sending and again I need to track whether there is a material, where it is material, and whether there is received or not. So no need to be wait that. Here it will be automatically happen both receiving and supplying both will be happen at a time. But in the two-step procedure, we have to do two steps. One step is for the sending and the step is for the receiving. Clear?
Yeah, clear.
Okay. Now let's go to the so now what we had discussed, one plan to plan transfer. Plan to plan transfer, one step, right? And the next one is plan to plan transfer. Okay, two step. Plan to plan transfer one step, plan to plan transfer two step. Now let's go to the third. This is the method one and this is method two. We have different methods. When we're doing the stock transfer from one plant to another plant. Okay, this is the one step, one method, and this is the second method. You can do any of the process. Okay, the third step is okay when we have the demand, when we need the stock, then only the supply plant will send the goods. So how supply plant will know there is a demand or not? How the supply plant they knows that whether the demand they have the demand or not. So you should order. Okay, boss, I'm creating a purchase order, STO order. Okay, please send me these goods to me, my location. So the first step and second step we don't have any PO.
Yes.
We don't have any documents. Only we have single document like we transferring it. Okay. But in the third step, we have STO purchase order created. Based on the purchase order only, they are dispatching the goods. Okay.
Yes.
Clear?
In first
Any
order,
doubts?
there is no PO, sir.
In the third step, we have the STO PO purchase order.
Oh.
Purchase
But
order.
what
But in the
about first
first
two
step,
tips? I think.
sorry,
What about the first two tips? They are
we don't
also,
have
I
any,
think,
we
PO.
don't have any purchase order here. One step and two
Okay,
step
direct
procedure. Directly we will do the movement. Stock
plant
movement we will
and
do directly. Without any
direct go
purchase
to
order.
plant and.
Yeah. Okay, once we are entering into the SAP, you will understand this one. What is how we are doing directly posting. Okay, it's like a direct
Yeah.
posting without any order. Okay.
It is yes, sir. In SAP, it is possible to direct creation.
Yeah, we can do. There are so many ways we have.
In SAP also, it is possible to create direct procurement.
Yeah, we can do. That's fine, right? We
Okay,
have.
okay.
Okay, we can do without the purchase order also. I can receive the goods. There are so many
Okay.
ways we have in SAP. Okay, but the client what they are using the process, you should know about that. Then only you can request them to use this process. Okay. Okay. Now this is the stock transfer order. Okay. with route. So what is the route? Generally, in route, we have purchase order, goods receipt, invoice, like that, right? So here we are using that. With route is nothing but like we are creating the purchase order, STO order. We generally call it as STO order, stock transport order. Okay, and we are doing the GR. Okay? So that's why we are saying that with the route. Okay, clear? Clear?
Yeah, clear.
Okay. In this process, what will be happen? You will create the STO, stock transport order, purchase order you will create. Then again goods issue. Goods issue, who will do goods issue? From supply plant. Supply plant, they will issue the goods. Okay. Then cross step is the goods receipt. Who will do the goods receipt? Who will do the goods receipt?
Warehouse team.
Yeah, no, both are warehouse team only. Both are warehouse team. But here supplying warehouse and receiving warehouse. Okay. So the supply plant, they are issuing the goods. The supply plant, they are issuing the goods, and the receiving plant, they are receiving the goods. So here two plants, right? One is supplying plant, okay, and another one is receiving plant. Correct or not?
Correct.
Okay. The supply plant is he is sending. That means he is issuing the goods. Okay, the second step. And the receiving plant will receive the goods. Now let me know who will create the STO.
Okay, sir.
Who will create the STO? Sagar?
Supply plan.
Purchase team will create the STO.
Who?
Purchase team will create the STO.
But okay, so here the concept is purchasing team. It's not a concept of purchasing team. Here we are transferring the goods. It is in the internal. It is not external. We are not buying from the vendor. If we are buying from the vendor, then it is purchasing team will come into picture. But here we are not buying from the vendor. Okay, it is internal transfers from one plant to another plant. Okay, so there is no concept of the purchasing here. This is transport. Okay. Now let me know who will be create the STO.
Receiving the plant create a STO.
Right. Receiving plant will create the STO. Why? Because receiving plant, they want to stock, right? They have the demand, the receiving plant. So they can ask supply plant to send the goods. So who will create order? Receiving plant, right? Obviously, the company will raise the order to the vendor supplying the goods. So at the vendor point of view, vendor is my supplier, supplying goods, right? So here the concept is at the receiving plant, they have the demand, they want to create the order, right? Clear?
Yeah, clear.
Sagar and Guru, both you are clear, right? Why STO created by receiving plant,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And goods issuing the stock. Who will issue the stock? Supply plant. They have the stock, then that's why they are supplying the goods. Okay. And receipt, who will do receipt? Receiving plant. They need the stock, that's why they are receiving the stock. Clear?
Yeah.
Now coming to fourth one. Okay, again stock transport order. Okay. With MM and SD route. With MM and SD route. Why, sir? Why we need ST here? Sales and distribution. Why we need ST? Let's say assume that. Okay. Now my plant it is there in the Andhra Pradesh. Okay, and my plant it is there in the Telangana. Okay.
Okay.
Now I just want to transfer the goods from the Andhra Pradesh to Telangana. Okay. Now I'm sending the goods 1000 quantity from here, Andhra Pradesh to Telangana. Now, what will happen if we are not using SD road? What will be happen? So suppose the excise department or sales department, if they catch you and they are asking that, okay, boss, where you are transferring these goods? Okay, you are saying that, sir, this was the just transfer. We are not selling to customer. We are not just transferring from the my one plant to another plant. Okay, and just like a transfer, it's not sold. Okay, so why? Because if it is selling the goods, then might be you have to pay the amount for the taxes. GST values you have to pay extra values, extra tax you have to pay. Correct. Okay, how system, how the how the excise department or how the sales who will be sales tax people, how they know that whether you are transferring the goods. So you will be creating that one shipping document. Shipping document. In the shipping document, what you mentioning that, okay, this is the packing we are doing. This is the transport we are using, like lorry from we are using the like transportation like from Andhra Pradesh to Telangana. We are using lorry as a transporter. Lorry is the vehicle, and the transporter is the some XYZ logistics, and that they are transferring. And this is the shipment document. This I'm clearly mentioning that this shipment document have, okay, this is just transferring the goods from one plant to another plant. It's not selling. So you should have the proofs, right? You should have the valid documents, shipment documents. Okay. So the shipment and the outbound delivery, who will be taking care? ST team. So that's why we are saying that here we are involving the ST team. Okay. Once we create the order, okay, the supply plant, they are creating delivery and shipment documents. And they have to prepare the billing document. That is, they have to tell that, okay, this is the just transfer from one plant to another plant. It's not sold. Okay, the value of the product is zero. Like the invoice value is zero. Why? Because it's just like a transfer. It's not selling goods, right?
Yeah.
So that the shipment, so that the taxed people are maybe sales department or excise department, they understood, okay, this is just transfer, so we don't need to be pay any tax for this, right? It's not sold. Okay, so here why we are using ST route, you understand that why we are using ST route? We are creating the shipment documents here, and billing document with zero, no billing document here. Why? Because we just transferring to our plant within the same company code. Clear?
Clear.
So this we called as a intra estimate. Intra is nothing but like a within the same company code. In the same company code, between the two plants, I'm transferring the goods. Within the same company code. You know, right? What is within the same company code? Company code means, you know, right? We have the, if suppose we have the Reliance group, okay? Reliance Communication is one company code, and the Reliance Fresh is the one more company code, and Reliance Petrol is the one more company code. So when there is a business, the kind of the business when it is changed, automatically the company code also change. The legally, that's why the different business. You have to maintain separate books for the separate businesses. Here, the kind of product also to be measure. It is a measure. Okay, the business petrol is different. The business FMCG product is different. The business communication is different. It's entirely different businesses. Okay. So now I'm talking about that within the Reliance Fresh from Telangana to Andhra Pradesh. I'm just transferring from one plant to another plant. Clear?
Okay.
Okay. Now let's go to the next one, which is like fifth one. Okay, we have totally fifth. This we call the interesting. Okay, What do you mean by inter-STO? We have Reliance Communication, okay, and we have Reliance Fresh. Okay, there is two company codes. Two company codes. This is different company code. This is the different company code. So I have a branch in Hyderabad. I have a branch in the Hyderabad. Okay. Now I have some. I have some which is like small product which is commonly using in the Reliance Fresh and Reliance Communication, like stationery, laptops. Okay, some articles which we are using in the communication and Reliance Fresh. So what I thought that, okay, I just want to transfer from the Reliance Fresh to Reliance Communication. Okay, but because both they are using the same product. Okay, so maybe they have some shortage in the Reliance Communication. We just moving goods from Reliance Fresh to Reliance Communication. Okay, now I said right, Reliance Fresh is different entity and Reliance Communication is different entity. So those cases, what will be happen? Okay, it is legally it is different and legally it is different. You are maintaining separate accountings here. You are maintaining separate accountings here. Then obviously, when you are transferring from one Reliance Fresh to Reliance Communication, okay, it is like it is just example like vendor and company. You are the Reliance Fresh is selling to the goods to the communication, and the Reliance Communication they are buying goods from the Reliance Fresh. So here the concept is buying and selling concept. Even it is transferring the goods from our companies only, but the legally it's different, and accounting purpose it is different. We should think about like it is selling and receiving only, selling and buying only. Why? Because both are they are using different. Okay. So these cases, how you will do the STO? So here the process will be same. The STO will create, and the supply plant will create the delivery and shipping documents, and they will do the PGI. Okay, and here there is concept like billing. So billing should be valid value with value it will be transferred. Right? Why? Because when it is moving from one entity to another entity, it is obviously the billing is the valid. The billing is the valid with cost right? Any doubts in this one?
No.
Did you understand?
Yeah.
Sagar?
For me, I have a little bit confusion. Once I will remind you.
Sagar and Guru?
I have a little bit confusion on this, what you last said, Reliance Fresh and Reliance Communications. We'd have to check it once.
Can you repeat? Sorry.
You said that when goods required from Reliance Fresh and Reliance Communications,
Okay.
it's very hard to understand how it works.
Okay. Let's go. So, what business you are using in your company? We'll take the same example.
Sorry, I didn't get you.
No. In your company, you are working in the one company, right? Okay. What
Agree.
business they are doing?
It's a B2B. It's a business to business.
Okay. Any articles you are selling?
Articles we are not selling actually.
Only services, right?
Only MRO and only MRO. We majorly focus on MRO.
Okay. Let's take example like You have supermarket. Simple example. You have supermarket. Okay. Okay. And you have that. You have garments business. Okay. In the supermarket, you are selling only FMCG products like rice, cooking products, and food items. Those you are selling here. The garments you are selling only textiles related. Okay. So did we agree that both are in the same business?
No.
All right. So obviously the supermarket is different and the garments are different. Okay. Why? Because why I'm telling here, the supermarket when you are coming to food products, okay, the tax values and the rules and regulations and what they're maintaining on the standards, ISO standards, all it will be different. When it is garments, it's different for all. Okay. So at the business level, okay, these two are the different entities. Entity one, okay, entity two. Okay. Now, when it is separate entities, they're maintaining the separate accounting cycle, accounting and books. Accounting, what do you mean by accounting? When they are claiming the tax, when they are claiming uh, when they are showing the profit and loss accounts, when they are claiming the tax, when they are paying the property tax, or when they are paying the business tax, everything, it is different for this one and different for this one. So you need to maintain the separate book. That means, okay, when this is completely different and this is completely different, even both companies are in the under in the me. So I am running the business, supermarket and garments. So I cannot I cannot club together both and I can maintain only one accounting. So I have to maintain separate books. Okay, even it is my company even it is my company as well. Okay, did you understand this point?
Yes.
Did you understand, right, this point? When you
Mm.
have different kind of business, you have to be maintain the separate books, separate accountings. Okay, separate book inventory, separate book financial related all the calculation you have to maintain. So now you tell me that, okay, if I want to transfer the goods from here to here, from here to here, okay, or from here to here, okay, it's like just like a transfer, just like a transfer, or you are selling the goods to the some other plant.
It's if they are registered under different GST, then
Hmm.
it's like purchasing and selling, right?
Selling, right? So this garments company using the stationery, okay, and this supermarket are also using the stationery products. It is common like. So I have shortage in the garments companies, some stationery. So I requested that supermarket boss, can you send me some stationeries to me? So I will be ordered. Instead of I'm buying from outside, I can buy from the here. Why? Because there might be the profit will be we will not lose anything. At the owner level, I'm not losing anything. So I'm just transferring the goods. But the business level, okay, we are selling goods and we are buying the good. Whether it is 1 rupee or 1 rupee or it is two rupees. Right?
No. Okay.
Understand, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the concept is here. The companies are different. The company codes are different. Okay. Between these two company codes, when you are transferring the goods, how SAP will calculate the all these values. Clear? Clear, Sagar?
So again, repeat, sir, once.
When okay, when there is a transfer question between the one company code to another company code,
Yeah.
how the SAP is handling. how SAP handling this our profit and loss accounts, how SAP will be handling that okay, COGS, cost of goods sold, okay, how the value of the product it is updated in the other company codes. So those all it will be compare, it will be in the interactive part. Clear?
Clear.
Now let's see. Let's see all together. Okay, simple. All together we'll see now. The major processor 3, 4, and 5. What is the 3? Okay, STO with MM root. Okay, so MM root is nothing but like a here plan to plan transfer only, but we are creating a STO order created. Okay, STO order created here. When it is coming to fourth step, okay, intra STO. Intra STO is nothing but like a okay, company code is same, but we are moving to plan transfer. Okay, within the same company code. Within the same company code. Okay, like I have Reliance Fresh. Okay, I have branch in the Kondapur, Reliance Fresh, and I have branch in the Madhapur. Okay, now I need a stock transferring from Kondapur to Madhapur or Madhapur to Kondapur. So since it is in the same company code, we don't need to be charge anything. We can transfer the goods. We just maintaining the inventory, but we are not required to pay any amount to the Kondapur branch or Madhapur branch. Right? Why? Because it is legally we are just transferring one plant to another plant. Either it may be manufacturing plant or it may be depot plant. Right?
Correct.
So here no billing here. Here no billing. You don't need to pay. Right? Okay. So and moreover we are creating shipment document here. We are creating shipment document here. What do you mean by shipment? Anyone knows? Anyone knows about the shipment document? Anyone knows about the shipment document? What contents will be there?
EWA will be there, invoice will be there. EWA will be mandatory shipment, right?
Yeah.
And
Okay. Yeah. In the shipment, what will be happen? We are mentioning all the points like how many packing materials it is there, how many packing, like how you're doing this packing, and what is the quantity, how much quantity, and who will be selling, who will be receiving, okay, and ship to and sold to, okay, and we have the containers list, and we have the truck number, we have the AWB number, and we have the transport who is who is logistics transporter is there, the address, okay, and where it is moving and from where it is moving. All this information will be there in the shipment document, right? Right?
Yes.
Any doubts on?
yes,
Okay. So in the intra STO, we have shipping document, but no billing document. We have shipping document, but no billing document. Clear this point? Why there is no billing? You understand, right? Why it is no billing here? Even we are transferring from one plant to another plant, why there is no billing?
this is internal movement, right? So that's why there is
Internal
no.
movement, correct. Internal movement between the plant to plant transfer within the same company code. Okay. Always when we're talking about the accounting level, we just need to be talk at the company code level. Okay. Maybe here the price is different, here the price is different, but entity level, when you are claiming the GST, when you are claiming the tax, okay, you can always claiming it to company code level. Okay, because for it is registered the GST number at company code level, right? Not at plant level, right? So they are maintaining the books at company code level. Okay, clear? Can you go ahead for next?
Yes.
Now next is interestivo. Interestivo is nothing but like it is also plan to plan transfer, but between the two company codes. Between two company codes. It's not single company code. It is two company code between the two plans.
Different company code.
Yeah. So when it is a two different company codes, okay, either it may be so. Let's say I have a business. I have construction building business. I have the supermarket business. Construction is completely different, and supermarket is completely different. I cannot conclude that both are in the different entity. Both are in the same entity. Okay, so we have to maintain the separate entities for this one, right? So those cases, how you will do the transfer posting. So here the case is shipping is there and with billing is there. So it is like a vendor and customer relationship. Okay. So if I am selling the goods from the vendor, okay, I'm the customer. Okay. Sorry, if I'm receiving goods from the supply plant, then I'm the customer. If I'm supplying the goods to the receiving plant, then I am the vendor, right? So now tell me, supply plant is there and receiving plant is there. Who will be the customer? Who will be the vendor? There is a supply plant is there. There is a receiving plant is there. Who will be the supplier and who will be the customer?
Supply plant vendor.
Supply plant is the vendor and receiving plant is the customer, right? Why? Because it is legally moving the goods. Legally moving the goods with billing document. So obviously, we just consider as a supply plant as a my vendor, and the receiving plant as a my receiving plant is the my customer, right? Clear?
Yeah, right. Clear.
Any doubts in this one process? In SAP, entire SAP STO process is the biggest one, and it's very important process as well. Every one they are using this process. Why? Because everyone have the 2-3 plants, right? At least 2 to 3 plants they have. So they want to transfer the goods. Either they can use the intra STO or they can use the inter STO or both they can use. Clear?
Clear.
Yes, sir.
Any doubts? Any doubts?
Not from my side.
Sorry?
Nothing from my side.
Yeah, okay. So this STO process is very, very important. Okay. So if you not understand, please let me know. I will explain again with some other different example. So here what we need to understand here in the MM and this STO process is completely different. This we generally called as MM and ST integration. MM and ST integration. This process we call as MM and ST integration. If anybody asking about that MM and ST integration, you have to tell that intra STO and inter STO. Why? Why it is MM and ST integration? Because we are creating shipping documents and we are creating billing documents. So shipping document and billing document will create ST team. ST team will create. That's why it's MM and ST integration. Clear?
Yes.
Yeah, clear.
So any doubts?